Well, howdy and hello. You've got the award-winning In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Coming up, Porsche fans, author Randy Leffingwell joins us. We'll give you insight into his book. I'll give you my thoughts on a little Japanese hot rod, the Acura Integra S. And Jeff has this week's Motor Minute just ahead in this segment of the In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Howdy, along with Mike out of this world, Mars. We always need more Jeff Zekin. I'm Don Armstrong. Glad you could join us on this Saturday. And you're going, well, wait a minute. Wait, it's 10. What happened to 8? Well,
we slept in.
We've moved the show a little bit, and we shortened the show a little bit. So with lots of changes, and we hope that you'll enjoy our new formatted show.
But you know what? You don't go changing.
To try to please me. There's a song in that, I
think
believe.
so.
Yeah. Anyway, so we've changed it up just a bit. And we've it's going to be a quick moving show.
It's different already.
Is it?
Yeah.
Well, it's the way I'm combing my hair this morning.
I think so. You know, I carry a comb.
That was because of the rain.
I just can't part with it.
Yeah, you can't. Well, your part's just a little bit bigger than mine, that's all.
Easy, Mike.
All right.
I like that one.
Did you?
The guy's name is Randy Leffingwell, and he is joining us right now from SoCal.
Oh.
He's the author of a book called Against All the Others, Porsche's Racing History. And Randy, good morning to you, and thanks so much for joining us.
Good morning, guys. It's good to be here. Thanks for having me on.
You bet. So I assume that this is just the first chapter of many that you've got in store for us all. Am I right?
Oh, yes. This is a multi-volume. One of my friends described it. I should sell it with big chains and issue it only to super yacht owners as their boat anchor.
Well, we've got a whole format of music for you called Yacht Rock. So it goes all hand in hand. Yeah, there's that.
Sign me up.
Okay, you got it. So, Randy, obviously you're a Porsche-phile. And the boys said, Porsche. And I'm thinking, no, I think it's Porsche. How do you pronounce it?
Well, Ferry Porsche, when I met him, said Porsche.
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 Yeah, it's Austrian, and that's how they pronounce that final E. It's sort of like a little bit of a sachet. It's a Porsche.
Porsche. So do you tell all your friends you're driving a Porsche?
I am a very fortunate man. I do drive a Porsche, but I don't tell everybody. Although I guess I just did.
I guess so. What model do you have?
I'm a very fortunate man. I've got a Cayenne hybrid.
Oh.
So I can be politically correct here in California, but I've got all the suspension packages on the thing that'll make it go around corners more like a Macan or even it handles very well.
Yeah. Well,
I had some really good advice.
You know, I have known a few Porsche.
Oh, here we go.
I'm just going to call it Porsche just to make it a Texanized.
Porsche's fine. Porsche's fine.
Good. I have known a lot of Porsche-philes, and there is a certain thing that you guys have that I think all of us Corvette owners really admire and aspire to. How's that?
Okay, I've written about Corvettes, so I've got a whole space in my heart for them too.
Yeah, it's a different way of looking at sport cars. And,
absolutely.
And when people tell me, because I review all sorts of things, you know,
sure.
And we have the Americans, we have the Germans, and then we have the Japanese or Asian brands, and they all have their own idiosyncrasies.
Little niches.
Yeah, and I will tell you that I thoroughly enjoy driving German brand cars because I'm coming out of an American car. And not that they're better, they're just different. But
correct.
The Porsche, to me, is at the top of the heap. And we have a friend of ours that we advertise for and do work with. He owns a company called, what is the name of the company? Gulf Coast Auto Shield. And he has these events from time to time. They're called car socials. And he does a lot of high-end cars.
Very high-end.
And the last event that he had featured the Porsche brand. And we spoke with several of the Porsche owners here in town, very passionate group. And you know, there's an admiration there that I don't even know how to explain it, but we really enjoyed our conversations with them. Let me put it that way.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's great.
I mean, you guys that are the Porsche files are really passionate about it. Now, I'm not talking about, you know, somebody buys a Porsche and then turns around and flips it. Not that kind of thing. I'm talking about guys that are really into Porsche. My old high school buddy, my hot rod friend, Ross Putnam, he actually has a Porsche and absolutely loves the thing. It's garage kept with a cover over it. He drives it on nice days. One of those kind of guys.
I'm not that.
You're not that. You drive yours.
I drive, and not only that, I've always sort of thought of myself less of a car guy and more of a people guy. That was what appealed to me about doing this book project, was the chance to meet and talk to all these racers and designers and engineers and managers and bosses. And my God, have they got the stories. And sure. That's what sold me on the project.
Interesting. Well, and, you know, that really kind of parlays into the whole Corvette admiration that you have, because you've been there. And I will
same.
Yeah, it's a group of us that all get together. I mean, these guys that are with me today, I really attribute the Corvette passion that I've had almost all of my life, and so it's all kind of bundled in together. We admire all cars, but I will tell you that my choice happens to be the Corvette. So let's talk about your book.
Yeah, I want to ask a question about that. You getting to the book, when you interviewed these folks and you talked about the people, was there a common thread or a theme that they all kind of had that they don't know they have, but you picked up on it to put in the book? And is this the first volume? I understand there's more to come after this book.
I'll answer the second part first, which is yes. There are many more volumes to come. Right now, probably it looks like another 14. So reinforce your bookshelves.
You've been sold by Encyclopedia Britannica. I can tell you that right now.
Well, actually, the killer was when Porsche offered me this project, a guy named Dieter Landenberger and his colleague in the archive, Jens Torner. We were at dinner. It was my last night there after working for about 4 weeks on another book project. And I took him out to dinner to thank him for their time. And they said, "Randy, we have a book idea for you." And, you know, you hear that and you think, oh, goody, the covered bridges of Bavaria.
Yeah, there you go.
And then Dieter said, "We would like you to do Porsche's racing history."
Oh, wow.
And after I picked myself up off the floor and asked why me, they said, "Well, as an American, you will cover Porsche's racing history in the world. If we give it to a German, he will say, Porsche raced throughout Germany, and there were races in America and the UK. If we give it to a Brit, he will say, Porsche raced at Silverstone and Aintree. Period, end of book." But an American is going to cover the world, and that was, again, part of the fun of this thing. So to answer the first part of your question, the thing that is uniform with all of them is their passion. That, as you mentioned about Corvettes and your passion for that, Mark, these guys, these men and women that have created these cars and these interiors and these marketing plans, it is deep in their hearts, deep in their soul, to make something that carries on the legend and the legacy.
Passion.
So I should actually learn the word for it in German.
Yeah. Is there a certain year, or are you dividing this up into years? How are you going about a multi-volume book?
That's an interesting question, and it really vexed me. When Dieter described the book, I said, okay, fine, great. I can start right after World War II. And, you know, pick up the German economic miracle of the 1950s and carry it through Porsche's development into a worldwide brand. And Dieter looked at me and said, no, Randy. Ferdinand Porsche raced the first car he ever built in 1899. Porsche racing starts there. And I thought, oh boy.
Yeah.
This has just doubled. And then he said the two magic words, we would like it encyclopedic and comprehensive. So you tell an author that you want something encyclopedic and comprehensive. And I just went nuts. So I interviewed. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No. I'm sorry. I was just going to say I'm having a hard time imagining, that many books. I mean, you go back and parsing it out, like you said, into sections, and then trying to figure out a timeline to do all that in.
Well, yeah, the whole pre-planning of the book. I mean, that in itself would take me years.
It almost took me years. I mean, it has taken me years. This dinner conversation happened in November of 2011.
Wow.
David Bull signed on to the book in the spring of 2012, and I've been working on it since. But I've been doing Porsche books since 1990. So I'd already met some people, and I'd already begun thinking about, I'm a racing fan. I love motorsports. And so Porsche's motorsports program has always been somewhere circulating in my brain between Porsche and Corvette, my two race cars. So when this thing came up and Dieter said, no, 1899, well, so you start at 1899 and you go to the present. The problem is, as a book author hoping to sell books, there aren't too many folks around who were alive in 1899 to watch Ferdinand Porsche race his electric car up a mountain. And so as we organized the books to try to make some sensible start point, we kind of plopped it down right in the middle. And then we started looking for a year that would really be identifiable. And of course, 1968 is the year the 917 was invented, if you will. And everybody's heard of the 917, so that became the point. And so what I do now is kind of I think they call it in media res. It's where you start in the middle. It's like a movie. Start in the middle of it, go a little bit, do a flashback, and then bring it right back up to the present and on through to 1999 when my series of books will end.
Very interesting. So it truly, well, yeah, but I understand. So let me ask you this: so is this book on the shelves, ready to be purchased now?
I think Volume 1 is, if not already in the U.S., on the way. It was printed in Hungary by a company called Interpress. They do wonderful work, and I know for a fact that the publisher's already gotten the first advance copies. We are launching this book at an event called Porsche Works Reunion, which takes place during the Monterey Pebble Beach Auto Week in about 3 weeks in Monterey, California. And I think that that's the first real availability for customers. I imagine you can pre-order it on, www.bullpublishing.com
or Amazon.
Probably Amazon. Yeah, I know that Jeff Anderson, who's the general manager, has been talking about ways to distribute the book. So,
well, I'll tell you that I know that every Porsche fan is watching or is downloading a podcast of this interview with you right now.
I hope so.
Yeah. Well, we hope so for your sake as well.
Thank you.
Yeah. How many pages is it? The first volume.
The first volume is 432 pages, about 260 photographs, maps, technical drawings, some really, really, really cool notes from some of the managers and some of the drivers about how they take certain turns, where the refueling stops are. They when Dieter and Jens offered me this project, they basically threw open the doors to the archive and said, "Go, look, research, do."
Wow.
How do you do that? I assume that you did that in Germany. Are you fluent in German?
Getting there.
You're getting there, because I would assume that those early books mainly were German.
Oh, almost no. And 99% of everything is German.
Yeah.
But Google Translate is my best friend.
There you go.
Really good keystroking in German.
That's how we got the Porsche.
The Porsche.
Porsche.
Yeah,
that's how
that's
they
it.
Porsche.
Exactly.
Well, it sounds like an intriguing book, and
Jeff Heitzman offered a suggestion.
Leidenschaft is passion.
One of our listeners online sent that in.
Yes. Thank you, Jeff Heitzman. I can't imagine how he would know that. But at any rate, it's great talking with you. Randy Leffingwell. The book is called Against All the Others, Porsche's Racing History, Volume 1. And I know that, hey, even though we're still at the very end of July, we ain't got that many months to go before Christmas gets here. What a great Christmas gift for those Porsche files.
Please, think of me at Christmas. Not to give it to me, but to give it to your friend.
There you go.
Well, Randy, it's great talking to you. Thanks again for your time this morning. I know
Thank
it's early out there
much.
on the left coast. It's 8:16 out there.
I'll get up early for you guys anytime.
Well, we appreciate that.
it.
Be sure and check back in with us. Let us know what else you got cooking.
I'll do that. Thanks.
All right. Thank you. Great. Hey, you can catch the In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show 24/7 through the iHeartRadio app. Just look for In-Wheel Time Car Talk. We also video stream our live 2-hour weekly show on Facebook, YouTube, and InWheelTime.com. And podcasts are available from your favorite podcast provider. The In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show will continue right after this quick break. Pro-Am Auto Accessories has been serving Houston's auto enthusiasts since 1984, providing world-class products for sports cars, European sedans, and American muscle. Pro-Am is known as the place to go to find exclusive and hard-to-find parts and accessories. Pro-Am is one of the very first distributors in the USA for brands such as Recaro, Redline, Momo, Corbo, and Simpson. Located in the heart of Houston's premier retail and service corridor, the Galleria area, Pro-Am's walk-in storefront includes an 8,000-square-foot warehouse, showroom, and installation bays. Pro-Am not only sells parts and accessories, but also offers installation and service. Pro-Am is now reaching a worldwide audience through Pro-Am.com, taking its local reputation to the rest of the world. At Pro-Am Auto, you'll be dealing with a small group of professionals who truly want to help you with your automotive needs. If you don't see what you're looking for on the website, call and Pro-Am will lend you a hand. Pro-Am Auto, 6125 Richmond at Green Ridge in Houston's Galleria area. Call them at 713-781-7755. Want to feel good about something special you did for someone special? In-Wheel Time and the original Lupi Tortilla group of Tex-Mex restaurants have joined together to help a very worthy cause, God's Garage, a Christian-based 501c3 charity. We know there are lots of places and organizations out there where you can donate a car, truck, or SUV, but we're asking you, our car enthusiast family, to consider donating to God's Garage. Visit godsgarage.org and learn about its mission, the women that have been helped, how each one is screened, and about their Restore You program. A car donation is an easy way to make a difference in the lives of others. God's Garage needs good operating vehicles, but will take all types in working and non-working condition. Make your heart and soul feel good by donating your gently used vehicle and help support single mothers, widows, and wives of deployed military at godsgarage.org. Welcome back to the In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show. If you're just joining us, it's our new 2-hour format instead of 3, and we're getting to sleep in a little bit longer. Mr. Mars mentioned this to me. We talked about it a couple of weeks ago and thinking, why are we making this poor guy get up at 3:30 in the morning to drive an hour and a half over here and then do all of this work and get all these guests? And he's going, it's killing me. I said, well, let's not kill you yet. We've got other ways to do that. Exactly. So that's why we kind of cut back on the hours.
Yep. Good stuff.
And and we're hoping that you like it as well.
Yeah, and it aligns with some of the other things we do, like the Houston Auto Show and Keels and
It
Wheels.
does. And that's not to say that we won't do another 3-hour show, because we will if we've got something special lined up for you, but we're going to start it at 10. Most public events start at 10 o'clock on a Saturday morning,
Right.
so it just makes more sense to kind of align it with
And we're all
of
about
that.
the public.
We are.
Oh, yeah.
Now, when Stan announces another Tailpipes and Tacos and he wants to start at 8 o'clock in the morning, okay.
We're on it.
We're on it.
You
We'll be
betcha.
there.
In fact, I talked to Chase yesterday.
Yeah.
And they're looking at their calendar, the racing, and doing still the hurricane kind of messed things up a little
Yep,
bit.
yep.
But, they're still thinking about looking at something in the fall, so we're trying to coordinate some dates.
Good. Yeah.
Fall's good.
I'll tell you what, that last Tailpipes and Tacos was a hit.
Oh, it was a blast.
It was
Yeah.
fun.
All right, time now here on the In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show for Jeff's Motor
And
Minute.
Mike's leading me into it with the fall. Everybody, school is about to start. In fact, there's some places that school has started. So I want to bring this to your attention. As summer ends, you got school zones. You got to slow down in the school zones. School zones are designed for a reason. They're to protect the students. You got to obey the speed limits, Mike, and you got to obey the signs. You got to eliminate your distractions, because it's very, very important. You don't want to be part of a tragedy in a school zone. Watch for the school buses. When that little red flag comes out, you stop. You don't try to pass a school bus. So all of this is important for coming into the fall season. You've got August and September, and I know school starts here in a couple of weeks in Houston. Be mindful of the folks and the little ones that drive their little bikes to school. They have the crosswalk right away as well. Plan ahead. If you know you're going through a school zone, don't rush through. Take your time or find an alternate route. If you know you go through there every day, find maybe another little back road or another little side street. But it's going to be all over. Be careful. The fines are very, very hefty. They're very hefty.
Yeah, they are.
And if you get it, we might even send Mike to your house to give you the ticket. We don't know that. So we're going to do that. Remember, it's your family, the families that are out there, so be very, very careful in school zones. I see it. I shake my head at some of these people going to work every day, and they know they're in there going through a school zone. So be careful. It's starting. Don't be that guy. That's my Motor Minute.
I've heard that most of my life. Don't be that guy. And look what happened to me.
I think the waiter told you that last night. Don't be that guy.
Yeah. Blanca. Yeah. All right, time now for this hour's car review. I had a chance to drive the 2024 Acura Integra. I don't get many Honda products. And I was kind of excited about this, and I thought, okay, it's an Integra. It's been around for a while. Well, I did not realize, but they make a little hot rod version of this.
They do.
Called the, there's several. The base, the A-Spec, and the A-Spec with Tech, and then the Type S. I had the Type S. All right? It's a hot rod. Compact 4-door hatchback. 4 seats in this thing. So put your mind kind of in a smaller version of a hot rod Mustang. Exterior changes from last model year. This is an all-new trim level for 2024. Edgy overall design with an aggressive front-end styling. Lower rocker and side creases in the doors gives it a sporty look. Small spoiler on the hatch and three exhaust outlets.
Wow.
Not 2, not 4, but 3, right smack dab in the middle. Black rear bumper with arrow on the lower valance. This particular one had the optional copper wheels, the 19 inches. It's a $2,100 option. And boy, does it really stand out on that blue car that I had. The blue that I had was like that, but it had the copper wheels on it. Cool. What could use improvement? Nothing. Great looking, sporty, hot hatch. Interior highlights. Easy shifting 6-speed and a nice knob.
Cool.
You got to have a nice knob.
You do.
And
Always good to have a nice knob.
It is. And I'll just leave it at that. Let's see. I've got my mind in that, but
I'll stop the video for you.
yeah, please do that. Really nice, styled, upscale interior elements throughout the cabin. Easy to use and understand controls. Honeycomb air vents add to that racy look, and I really did like them. I've never seen them in another car. The air vents and the dashboard, they're honeycombed.
I'll be darned.
And they make them stand out. They're kind of a brushed silver. Cargo trunk room, 24.3 cubic feet. So the storage area back there behind the back seat kills it. Then you fold down the back seat and makes it really big. What I liked about it, lots of storage cubbies throughout the cabin. I did like that folding second rear seat. It's got a smallish, a 9-inch infotainment screen, but it kind of fits the smallish interior because it is. It's a small car. 2-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder with, drum roll please, 320 horsepower.
Whoa.
320. Torque, 310 pound-feet of torque. That's why I kind of did the comparison with the Mustang, because the Mustang is about like their 4-cylinder, about 300 horsepower, which is a lot. The advantage that this has is that it's fairly lightweight because it's a much smaller car. That's what I was going to say.
There can't be much weight to it.
Right. 6-speed manual transmission, and that was the smoothest shifting transmission I have had in a long, long time. 21 miles per gallon city is what it's rated. 28 miles on the highway for a combined of 24. I got 25.7 miles per gallon over 356 miles. What I liked about it, the balance of power, performance, and comfort. Nothing could use improvement. I think that this is a hit. Now, the base price, the base trim price is $52,995. It's not cheap. Prices tested, $55,971. Now, if you just want to get into an Acura Integra, $31,800 will get you going. Now, as far as comparisons are concerned, let's talk about the Honda Civic Type R. That's its cousin. It starts at $44,795. The Audi A3 starts at $40,975. The BMW 2 Series Grand Coupe, $49,295.
Uh-oh.
And I had to throw in the Golf R, the VW Golf R, $45,665. And that is my review of the 2024 Acura Integra A-Spec with Tech Type S.
You know, when you had it, I didn't get in that one. I was not... Didn't go for a ride in it with you or anything, or didn't get in it, but the car is nice. I like it. The exterior was very sporty.
Agreed. Hey, if you'd like to get in touch with us, shoot us an email. The address is info@inwheeltime.com. More of the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show continues right after this quick break.
The original group of Lupe Tortilla restaurants will have you telling your family and friends just what the original recipe means when it comes to the best fajitas in Southeast Texas. Founder Stan Holt invites you to visit the first Lupe Tortilla near I-10 and Highway 6. Here is the original house that inspired the design of all the rest and the original charm that helped make Lupe Tortilla the go-to destination for Houston Tex-Mex. Nothing can compete with the original lime pepper marinade that everyone will agree makes Lupe Tortilla award-winning beef fajitas the best anywhere. Lupe Tortilla Katie's another location that gives you the same quality and service Houstonians have come to expect at Lupe's. It's located on 99 the Grand Parkway at Kingsland Boulevard in Katy. Find yourself in Aggieland? Head to the Lupe Tortilla in College Station. Located just around the corner from Kyle Field, it's a great place to enjoy those famous frozen margaritas before or after the game. Going to Louisiana, the Lupe Tortilla in Beaumont is on I-10, so you can't miss it. The original group of Lupe Tortilla restaurants has the best Tex-Mex anywhere, and you're invited anytime. Your car is a direct reflection of you, so don't be satisfied with color fade or a dingy, dull appearance. Get rid of those terrible automated car wash scratches. Gulf Coast Auto Shield is your Save the Paint company. John Gray and his team of detailing experts can help your cars finish without a full repaint. Searching for the real experts in window tint or windshield protection? Gulf Coast Auto Shield. Dash cams, radar detectors? Gulf Coast Auto Shield. Got a new car? Get that thing protected as soon as you take delivery. If you don't know which of the multitude of protection products to go with, John Gray will give you an honest opinion and won't sell you something you don't need or can't afford. John will help you understand the many options and pricing right on the spot. He's your guy to have your ride looking its best and protected too. See the state-of-the-art shop yourself. Free tours anytime. Gulf Coast Auto Shield is easy to get to, located just south of the Southwest Freeway on the Sam Houston Parkway. Gulf Coast Auto Shield, full-service luxury car care today, and online at gcautoshield.com.
This is the world's favorite place to go for fun and informative car talk. It's the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Just ahead, Chris Compton with Distinctive Industries and your car's interior. And later, Jeff will have the racing calendar. Mars will have This Week in Auto History. and I'll get you caught up on the stories making automotive news headlines this week. Howdy, along with Mike Out of This World Mars. We always need more Jeff Zekin. I'm Don Armstrong. Glad you could join us for our new hours and a really kind of a revamped show. 2 hours in length now as opposed to the old 3.
Not bad so far.
We just couldn't make it through 3 hours anymore.
Oh, my goodness.
And it actually wasn't up to me. It was Mars. We felt sorry for him. Because he had to get up at 3:30 in the morning to make his, hour and a half trek. Was it an hour and a half to get here?
It's closer to 2.
You get up at 3:30 in the morning.
Well, I did this past week, and I've got another week of that to go. Yeah. Because I have to be at work by 5 to there. Take that.
I was thinking other reasons.
Yeah, bathroom breaks.
Yeah.
That's exactly right. Well, his name is Chris Compton, and he's with a company called Distinctive Industries, Auto Interior Parts and Supplies. Chris, good morning to you.
Good morning, gentlemen. How's everyone today?
Well, we're doing great, thank you, and thanks for joining us this morning. Where are we speaking to you from?
I am just outside of Atlanta, Georgia.
Oh, very
Atlanta, Georgia.
All right.
I've been there. I've been there a time or two. You got a great
University of Georgia Bulldog country over here, guys.
There you go.
Okay, well, roll Tide.
I had to throw that in.
I'm sorry, I had to throw that in there.
That's all right. Hey, everybody has their faults.
I love it. So, Chris, tell me about Distinctive Industries. You guys make interior parts and pieces?
Yes, sir. Distinctive Industries has been in business since 1969, so it's been around for quite a while. We make all factory replacement upholstery. That's the majority of what we manufacture for say, Mustangs, Camaros, Chevelles, Torinos, some obscure things like Datsun Roadsters, some Z cars.
How about Mom's Buick Skylark for 69? Do you have parts for that?
I do have some Buick Skylark upholstery. Yes, sir. We do a lot of A-body and F-body, and then, like I said, we're really our full line is a lot of Ford products, like your Mustangs that you guys like to talk about. We do just some of the odd stuff too that nobody else makes, like Cougar. We make a full line of Cougar upholstery.
Oh man!
So what do you stitch these up ahead of time, or is it kind of like a custom order per order?
So we manufacture product that emulates the factory upholstery, door panels, headliners, visors, and so forth. We have our own factory. We manufacture all the product the exact same way, typically, as Ford or GM would have made it in the 60s or 70s or even in the 80s.
So how is it? Is it done through injection mold for like the panels and the consoles and the dash pieces? I know the upholstery part of it is different, but how does that work?
So when you come to, we don't really make dash pads, but we make heat. So the door panels are made with a heat sealed die. You have a backer board, and then you have the vinyl. And every panel, every seat upholstery has its own different style of insert. So all that material is heat sealed through RF tooling. So it's kind of a weird process that most people don't understand. It's not just heat. It has that RF means radio frequency. So it's a huge machines. They have different size machines. We have one that actually takes a couple of guys to run because it's so large. It's about as big as 2 trucks that were stacked on top of each other to make some of these products.
Wow.
And then the upholstery is sewn by hand, just like they would have made it originally from the factory. And we make seat foam material. So we make injection molded seat foam. So yes, that is injection molded. So like I said, we make products just like the original manufacturer.
Now let me ask you this: are you still out there killing Naga hides?
No, we don't really do anything with Naugahyde. That's really your 30s and 40s products. We don't get
not quite that far.
That's not in our cookie jar.
That's why he's asking.
I understand. I guess I was kind of joking in a way, but I assume that the materials that you guys use are a little bit better than they were back in the 60s.
It has a heavier back to it, so it'll hold the stitch better. But at the same time, we manufacture full assembled seats as well. So we have some programs that we just kicked off the past couple of years. The whole Pro Touring or Resto Mod, that's a hot thing in the market, been a hot thing for probably 15, 20 years. And we manufacture fully assembled seats to go in Chevy trucks, Ford trucks, some Camaros, Mustangs, Chevelles. You just take it out of the box and bolt it right into the car, so the customer doesn't have to worry about reupholstering seats or trying to find an original frame if he's going bench to bucket, things of that nature.
I've got a question now. You're up outside of Atlanta. Do you supply like the Summit catalog folks with their inventories, and also do you get guys like independents, like Don's got a hot rod shop and he needs an upholstery? Does he send the car to you, or do you send the product to him?
We would send the product to him, but yes, we do supply to Summit, to Jegs, to a lot of the big box stores, say like Classic Industries or Camaro Central or Original Parts Group. So those big catalog companies, they do have our full line of product, as well as the small mom and pops, restoration shops, the installation centers. So we don't manufacture, I should say manufacture, we do not install any product for customers. We actually manufacture it, box it, ship it either to their warehouse or to their customer as a drop ship product.
As a drop ship. So you don't sell directly to the customer?
No, we do not sell directly to consumers.
You're strictly a wholesaler. I got you. Now, do you now, let's say, for instance, I've got a 69 Camaro, which has always been my dream to have a Z28 with the 302 DZ engine in it. But that's another story for another day.
Just saying.
Yeah, just saying. But I want to have the houndstooth interior, and I want to have the original console. Can you help me in both of those?
I can. We manufacture the houndstooth interior. We manufacture the standard interior. We manufacture the comfort weave interior. We can make everything. We do not do injection molded plastic products, and that's what your console and your 69 Camaro is made from. It's injection molded plastic.
Where would I get something like that?
You could call anyone that sells Camaro products, like Classic Industries or Camaro Central. I actually used to work a long time ago for the company that actually makes that console, Classic Headquarters. So it's funny you say 69 Camaro, because I sold Camaro parts solely for 23 years.
Wow.
So that Camaro, that 69 Camaro has been good to you.
It has bought me a lot of things over the years, as well as some Camaros and some
bought him a
Chevelles.
69 Camaro.
Do you have a 69 Camaro now?
Right now I have a 66 Chevelle.
Oh,
well, we'll take that. That's a
That'll
nice
work.
car. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's a pretty little marina blue small block 4-speed car.
Does it have your interior in it?
It does, absolutely.
Yeah.
Sure does.
Is it?
It did not when I purchased it, but it does now.
Is it black vinyl?
It is black vinyl, bucket seats. It's a console car now. It was not originally a console car, but now it is, and that's the hardest part to find on those 66 and 67 Chevelles is a 4-speed console. They're tough. They're tough.
Is it? Do you do any leather?
We did at one time. We had a leather division. We do still offer some leather for the classic cars. So there's a few of the products, a few of the models that we actually make factory-looking seat upholstery, but with leather inserts and what's called leatherette trim on the outside.
Right.
Our seat, our CTX seat, which is our truck seat, we use a what's called a leatherette product. The average person thinks it's just like the leather that you see in new cars. We use that material.
Is it different than the vinyl that you produce?
Yes, sir. It is different. It's a different grain. It's a different texture. It actually has a different sheen as well.
So when you make these seats and you send them out, do you put all the wiring and all the racks and the I guess the framing of the seat? Do you put all that in there as well? Is the motors and all the lumbar things that go in there?
So we manufacture the seat in-house. From raw materials. We start with just tubing steel. We make our own springs. We make our own molded foam. And so it doesn't have a lumbar system in it, just because there's not a support system in the back to handle that type of accessory.
Right.
But it does have a full reclining mechanism. It's bolstered. It has cup holders in it, where none of the old trucks or cars had cup holders. So we manufacture a lot of product in-house, as well as we do make a small little, what we call a bench seat console. It just sits on top of so say you have a 69 Torino with a bench seat in it, and you want to put cup holders or you want a storage compartment. It just sits right on top of the console.
I had one of those. I had one in the truck. Yeah.
Yeah. Those are perfect.
So let's go back to the '69 Camaro. Don's got his '69 Camaro finally
in my mind,
in his mind, and he's working on it. And he wants some of your product. But since you don't sell it retail, how would he get that?
So he can go to our website, and we have a dealer locator on our website. So you just plug in the zip code that you're at, and it'll populate the closest dealers to his area, or it'll automatically populate our top dealers that typically carry our product on their shelf.
Or he can just call you direct.
And they could ship it.
Or he can call me direct.
There you go.
Interesting. How many employees do you have out there in Atlanta?
None, just myself.
You're it.
I'm the only employee in Atlanta. So I'm a sales manager and sales rep. So I've worked remotely. Our main office is in Southern California, and then our manufacturing is just south of the border. And so all our employees are just scattered, really. So we have some guys in your area. We have our ownership and our corporate office is in just outside Austin. So yeah, I run solo in Atlanta, which sometimes you work best when you run solo.
Yeah. I can vouch for that. Yes, absolutely. I have to ask this question. The products that you manufacture now, I would like to think that the quality is better than it was back in 1969, because I worked for a Chevrolet dealership in 1969, and I have to tell you that some of the stuff that came out of the Chevrolet factory wasn't all that to brag about.
Yeah, he said that they've got thicker products, thicker ways.
But the quality of the vinyl, let's say, I would like to think that it's bumped up now. So I don't have to have the clear waffle covering on the vinyl, and you know what I'm talking about from the 1950s.
Yeah.
So when you got out of that unair-conditioned car, it looks like your butt was in a waffle iron for at least a while, if it wasn't burnt.
Yeah, you don't want the old clear sofa covers on your '69 Camaro House 2 seat upholstery.
That's Absolutely. Right. Yeah, exactly.
The products are a lot of the stuff is a better manufactured product. The seat foam is a better density, and it doesn't just some of that seat foam they made back in those days. It wasn't made to withstand. So if you think about a car that was produced in 1969, as long as it made it out of warranty, it was a home run for GM or Ford. So. As long as they made it out of warranty without a problem, they didn't really care.
3 years and 36,000 miles. That's all
back then it was 12.
Yeah. And I can't tell you how many seats that I came back where the thread had broken in the seats. And they had to send it out to a local upholstery shop to fix it.
It's funny you say '69 Camaro and thread bucket seats because. Our owner, when his dad got started in this business back in the mid to late '60s, bucket seats were what really started him in the upholstery business. He tells me the story of when they were living in Southern California that people would steal bucket seats out of cars because there was more predominantly bench seat cars than there were bucket seat cars.
Yep.
So when they stole the bucket seats out, the insurance company had to pay to have another set of bucket seats put in, and then they would have to pay somebody to upholster those seats and have them the same color as the interior. So that's really what put him in the interior business. Interesting.
Now, I assume that you guys do all of the factory colors for the particular car that you're working on, say, for instance, the '69 Camaro. Not that there were that many options in a '69 Camaro, but that first generation Camaro had different colored upholstery.
Absolutely, and we offer everything. We try to offer as close to original color match as possible. We use the original Detroit color books that Ford and GM used, Detroit Vinyl Company, for all their vinyl. So we have all those color match books, and we try to match it to the L codes as close as possible. Because
as you and I both know, you're dealing with interiors that had great big formed plastic panels that were dyed, and trying to get the seats to match that sometimes works and sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah, most times it doesn't.
And here's the problem. In the day and time we live in now, there's multiple manufacturers in the reproduction world for all these plastics, and they're not witnessing it coming off the factory. They're ordering it from, another country, and when it shows up on their doorstep, their fingers crossed that it looks just like what they wanted it to look like, and then it doesn't match the vinyls that are out there. And if you think about it, if you go back in time 40, 50 years and you look at those cars, if it was a red interior, it was probably anywhere from 3 to 5 different shades of red. On a plastic carpet, headliner, seat upholstery, package shelves, all these different things had different shades to it. But the average guy, they want it all to be the exact same color. And we try to do that. We try our best to achieve that for everyone.
And, I guess that by going through, for instance, JAGS or Summit Racing, that you can be guaranteed that they're going to buy your product and you're not going to wind up with some Chinese knockoff.
Well, that's just it as well, because they'll advertise with our product name on their advertisement, and then you can get the full line of Distinctive Industries. Yes, sir.
Yeah, you know what you're getting that way.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Well, it's interesting. So it's distinctiveindustries.com?
Yes, sir. DistinctiveIndustries.com. That's us.
And it's got your home phone number on there. So 3 o'clock.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's good because everybody's going to want to talk to Chris Compton.
Yeah, because here's my home phone right here.
Yeah. There you go. That's right. Well, Chris, it's a pleasure talking to you, and thanks for schooling us on interior parts and supplies there from Distinctive Industries.
Exciting. Yeah,
we appreciate it. We don't get to talk to you guys very much,
And we get questions all the time. Where's a good interior?
Yeah,
all the time.
And so you're looking. We appreciate it.
I want to thank you for letting me come on your show. It's been a treat.
Well, very good, and we hope to talk to you again soon. And turn us on to any of your suppliers and helpers out there,
or a '69 Camaro,
or a '69 Camaro. That'd be a good start place too.
That's not a problem. I can probably do that for you.
I know. That would be my problem then. Chris, take care. Have a great weekend.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Interesting.
Yeah, very cool.
Hey, the In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show is available 24/7 through the iHeartRadio app. Just look for In-Wheel Time Car Talk. We also video stream on Facebook, YouTube, and InWheelTime.com. And podcasts are from your favorite podcast provider. The In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show continues right after this quick break.
Pro-Am Auto Accessories has been serving Houston's auto enthusiasts since 1984, providing world-class products for sports cars, European sedans, and American muscle. Pro-Am is known as the place to go to find exclusive and hard-to-find parts and accessories. Pro-Am is one of the very first distributors in the USA for brands such as Recaro, Redline, Momo, Corbo, and Simpson. Located in the heart of Houston's premier retail and service corridor, the Galleria area, Pro-Am's walk-in storefront includes an 8,000-square-foot warehouse, showroom, and installation bays. Pro-Am not only sells parts and accessories, but also offers installation and service. Pro-Am is now reaching a worldwide audience through Pro-Am.com, taking its local reputation to the rest of the world. At Pro-Am Auto, you'll be dealing with a small group of professionals who truly want to help you with your automotive needs. If you don't see what you're looking for on the website, call and Pro-Am will lend you a hand. Pro-Am Auto, 6125 Richmond at Green Ridge in Houston's Galleria area. Call them at 713-781-7755. Want to feel good about something special you did for someone special? In-Wheel Time and the original Lupe Tortilla group of Tex-Mex restaurants have joined together to help a very worthy cause, God's Garage, a Christian-based 501c3 charity. We know there are lots of places and organizations out there where you can donate a car, truck, or SUV, but we're asking you, our car enthusiast family, to consider donating to God's Garage. Visit godsgarage.org and learn about its mission, the women that have been helped, how each one is screened, and about their Restore You program. A car donation is an easy way to make a difference in the lives of others. God's Garage needs good operating vehicles, but will take all types in working and non-working condition. Make your heart and soul feel good by donating your gently used vehicle and help support single mothers, widows, and wives of deployed military at godsgarage.org.
You're on the In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Thanks for riding with us today. Again, I want to tell you about our new hours. They are 10 to noon, live every Saturday. And it's a 2-hour show now instead of 3.
2.
So you don't get bored.
2
minutes in one.
There you go.
That's certs. Do
Is
they
it?
still make certs?
I don't know. They make inserts.
I know that.
Okay.
All right.
I don't know about
time now for the racing calendar.
Yeah,
and
racing
Jeff has
calendar.
that.
How about that? Well, NASCAR, all the boys that get trophies every week.
And somebody dropped out, I guess, this week. I don't remember who it was. but
I don't
saw
have
some
that
news
information,
about
but they
that.
are off. They're off until August 11th. So there you go, NASCAR. NHRA, they've got one going today. It's the NHRA PSM All-Star Call-Out in Sonoma. That's on
It's Pro Stock Motorcycle.
Right, Pro Stock motor. Yes, but it's the Pro Stock Motorcycle. Don't confuse me. That's today at 6 p.m. And then tomorrow, NHRA Denso Sonoma Nationals. That's on Fox tomorrow. Formula One, get this, the Rolex Belgian Grand Prix. And Mike, do you know what? The trophy is a giant waffle. So they're going to be in Belgium this week. Indy and IMSA are off.
Is that with whipped cream on top? And maybe a strawberry?
Chocolate chip, maybe.
Yeah, and some syrup.
Yeah,
Put whipped cream and strawberries.
Sticky syrup.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, we're all going to
corn syrup. We need some maple syrup, real maple syrup.
Well, we got to go to
Vermont.
Yes, Vermont. Anyways, that's Indy and IMSA are off this week.
Mr. Mars has this week in auto history. We got to get Jeff to get caught up here. Oh, he already is.
Yeah, he's ready. He's
Okay,
ready to
baby.
rock
All right,
and roll.
Go ahead.
So July the 21st, back in 1904, Louis Regali, I'm not sure how to say that. Everything comes out in Italian instead of a Frenchman. He became the first man to drive a car over 100 miles per hour. He set a record of 103.561 mile per hour on a beach in Belgium.
Oh, wow.
Now,
there you
this
go.
record stood as a target for other race car drivers trying to break it for a full 3 months. Now, in July 24th, 1978, production of the first front-wheel drive American car, the Dodge Omni and the Plymouth Horizon, began. Now, this is a subcompact economy car. Chrysler built this from 1978 to 1990. 2,500,000 were built. And it really started a shift towards the small car market back in its time whenever it was necessary.
Actually, the Corvair was the first one to do that, but I won't even go there. That was in 1960.
Okay.
Porsche.
So, July the 25th,
Porsche.
1975, the last Citroen DS, which is often considered an innovative, influential car,
And the
regardless of what you
ugliest
think
car I think
about
ever
the
made
styling.
the man.
It was a front mid-engine, front-wheel drive car.
God.
And it was made from 1955 to 1975, came as a fastback, a sedan, a wagon, a estate, or a convertible. And it did introduce a lot of technological advancements like the hydropneumatic suspension, and it was known for its futuristic design, per se.
So
That
you
is
could take,
not futuristic.
You could take one wheel off and still drive on three wheels. So if you wanted to tub it out, which one would you tub?
That's a very good question.
Yeah.
Well, since it's front-wheel drive, I guess that what you could really wind up doing is put a great big top fuel slick right there in the
In the
middle.
middle, in the back.
Because remember, the back end of it is much more narrow than the front end.
Yeah, it wouldn't need near
You
as
just
big a
need
tub.
one.
And I'm
need
just saying one.
And just one trailing arm.
We were just so innovative.
All right, moving on to
Oh, okay,
1904,
shut up.
July the 27th. Horatio Nelson Jackson was an American physician, Army medical officer, and an automobile pioneer.
What would be his nickname if it was Horatio?
I have no idea.
George?
Everything I found was a full deal. He got into a discussion, and over a $50 bet, he and his driving partner, Sewell K. Crocker, became the first people to drive an automobile across the United States. Now, this is a road trip from San Francisco to New York City.
This is a road trip to hell.
No, man.
And he also went on up to Vermont, where he lived in a Winton automobile. Now, this was a 2-cylinder, 20-horsepower vehicle. Took 63 days.
And 100,000 flats. On the long way.
And there was I was reading down through it. They didn't make it 20 miles before they had the first flat tire.
you sure it wasn't electric?
No.
Okay,
no.
63
funny.
days.
63
Yeah.
days.
Okay.
So that would be an interesting story to read into, all the things that they did. And
You're not
and
done.
They took.
You're not done.
That is the
That's
4
it.
things from this week in automotive history.
betcha.
Yes, sir.
That way, no, that's not near enough.
You want
He
more?
wants more.
I want more. You got some more?
No. But I can get more.
We'll get more next week.
That'd be good. Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
only
yeah.
a 2-hour show.
Yeah, because this was supposed to be a 4-minute segment, and it just didn't turn out that
Well, I
way.
figured it would turn in. There'd be some more discussion about.
Well, we tried
the
to have
theme,
some
but-
discussion, but you just breezed on through it and blew me off when I asked you what is short for Horatio.
George.
Yeah, George is. A
It
good
is
name.
not George.
George is listening though,
Yeah.
and George had a question.
What was the question? I'm afraid to ask.
What's short for Horatio?
No, if you were getting out of that hot seat Camaro, the Camaro with the hot seats in it with a little waffle pattern on it, does the waffle make your butt look bigger?
If you ate enough of them, I guess.
Well, I'm just saying, George. I asked, George. That's
Thank
all
you.
I can do for you. I'm not looking.
I got some news stories to tell you about. Toyota Motor North America has decided to replace the engines
What?
in more than 100,000 Toyota Tundra full-size pickups and Lexus LX SUVs from the 22 to 23 model years that run rough and could potentially lose power because machining debris was not cleared when they were produced. Are you kidding me?
That's just awful.
The automaker launched a recall campaign at the end of May on the two nameplates equipped with turbocharged V6 engines. In certain vehicles, the debris can lead to potential engine knocking, engine rough running, engine no start, and or loss of motive power. In other words, it just quits running.
Yeah, it just doesn't go.
A loss of motive power while driving at higher speeds can increase the risk of a crash, Toyota said in a statement. Japanese automaker said Toyota and Lexus dealers will replace the engine with a new one at no cost to customers and that customers would be notified this month about the fix. Wow. A spokesperson for Toyota Motor North America said customers would receive a loaner or a rental car during the repair, which is expected to take between 13 and 21 hours to complete. Can you imagine?
Wow.
Toyota has had a string of recalls in recent months involving some of its newest vehicles, including stop sales on the new Toyota Grand Highlander and Lexus TX three-row crossovers over a side airbag deployment issue that also interrupted production, as well as an unannounced stop sale in April on the Toyota Prius. Got some issues that are going on there. Let's see. We noted a bumpy transformation taking place on what we'll call the front end of the auto industry. Electrification in various forms and chasing expensive autonomous driving technologies. Yet the recent changes going on at the tail end of the market have been just as dramatic. They have nothing to do with emissions. A study by used vehicle online marketplace iSeeCars.com has found that the share of vehicles being sold that were at least a decade old has risen sharply since the pandemic, from 15.1% of the total used vehicle market in 2020 to 22.7% so far in 2024. Meanwhile, the average price of those aged vehicles went from $9,135 to as high as $12,549 vehicles in 2022 before retreating slightly to $12,194 on a car that's 10 years old.
Yep.
Friends, hang on to your old car. I'm telling you, I think you'd be making a smart move.
As long as you maintain it.
As long as you maintain it, change that oil.
An interesting note I would like to point out. We have a listener actually right at the moment in Hamburg, Germany.
Oh.
I just noticed
Well,
came
hello.
up.
Jawohl.
Hello.
Hopefully it was one of the Porsche fans.
Porsche, yeah, could be.
Okay. Well, we'd love to hear from you. Shoot us an email. The address here is info@inwheeltime.com. It works in Germany, too. Time now for a quick break. You're on the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show, streaming and podcasting around the planet. Look for us from your favorite podcast provider. We'll be right back.
The original group of Lupe Tortilla restaurants will have you telling your family and friends just what the original recipe means when it comes to the best fajitas in Southeast Texas. Founder Stan Holt invites you to visit the first Lupe Tortilla near I-10 and Highway 6. Here is the original house that inspired the design of all the rest and the original charm that helped make Lupe Tortilla the go-to destination for Houston Tex-Mex. Nothing can compete with the original lime pepper marinade that everyone will agree makes Lupe Tortilla award-winning beef fajitas the best anywhere. Lupe Tortilla Katie's another location that gives you the same quality and service Houstonians have come to expect at Lupe's. It's located on 99 the Grand Parkway at Kingsland Boulevard in Katy. Find yourself in Aggieland? Head to the Lupe Tortilla in College Station. Located just around the corner from Kyle Field, it's a great place to enjoy those famous frozen margaritas before or after the game. Going to Louisiana? The Lupe Tortilla in Beaumont. It's on I-10, so you can't miss it. The original group of Lupe Tortilla restaurants has the best Tex-Mex anywhere, and you're invited anytime. Your car is a direct reflection of you, so don't be satisfied with color fade or a dingy, dull appearance. Get rid of those terrible automated car wash scratches. Gulf Coast Auto Shield is your Save the Paint company. John Gray and his team of detailing experts can help your cars finish without a full repaint. Searching for the real experts in window tint or windshield protection? Gulf Coast Auto Shield. Dash cams, radar detectors, Gulf Coast Auto Shield. Got a new car? Get that thing protected as soon as you take delivery. If you don't know which of the multitude of protection products to go with, John Gray will give you an honest opinion and won't sell you something you don't need or can't afford. John will help you understand the many options and pricing right on the spot. He's your guy to have your ride looking its best and protected too. See the state-of-the-art shop yourself. Free tours anytime. Gulf Coast Auto Shield is easy to get to, located just south of the Southwest Freeway on the Sam Houston Parkway. Gulf Coast Auto Shield, full-service luxury car care today, and online at gcautoshield.com.
It's the In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Coming up, our go-to gal for auto stats,
All right.
insurance, and other fun facts. Divya Sangam.
Divya.
And later, Jeff has his feature this week, and it's about old Route 66, summertime travel. You'll want to know about that. Just ahead on the In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show, howdy, along with Mike out of this world, Mars. We always need more Jeff Zekin. I'm Don Armstrong. Glad that you could join us on this Saturday. This is our new revised revision, our shift around times.
I'm grooving on it. It's pretty good. Yeah, it's all right.
Okay.
We're groovy.
It's our 2-hour
Video.
format. 10 to noon now we're on, so normally we'd be going off the air at this time, but we wanted to...
No, we'd be drinking right now.
We'd be drinking heavily. Yeah, that's it. Before we get to Divya, I did want to mention this, in case you didn't see it, and despite the fact that you may or may not be a Chevrolet Corvette fan. Did you hear? To Chevrolet engineers, the 2025 Corvette ZR1 sports car isn't only unthinkable, as the brand teased in promotional videos this spring, it's also the biggest step up they've ever done, according to Taj Jukter, the Corvette's executive chief engineer. The most powerful production Corvette ever packs 1,064 horsepower into a car that engineers say can perform on the track without overwhelming on the road. With the first ever turbocharged V8 engine in a Corvette, Chevy said it can directly challenge the likes of the Porsche 911 and other six-figure halo cars from import brands. It is quite the car. They haven't really made that many changes to the exterior except for some of its aero, including a spine across the back window reminiscent of the 63 split window. And it's not just for looks, it's also functional because it's got an aero factor to it. And
support, yep.
Is the glass actually split? Or
No.
Okay.
No.
So this
Just
is
a
just
rib.
kind of overlay.
It's a rib or ridge down the back of it.
Okay.
It looks pretty cool. Matter of fact, I saw a picture of it. I'll try to go run into the house and bring it out here to you. But at any rate, it's different. It's got
Does
a
it have-
huge rear wing on it.
Oh, does it have a parachute too, maybe?
Probably.
I don't know.
220 miles an hour is what it's supposed to go. I don't want to be in a car doing 220, not unless it's on a racetrack with somebody else driving.
And a full cage and all that. Because obviously it's going to have a cage.
No,
Oh.
doesn't have a cage.
We'll put a rib in it.
Keep that in mind. We're going to talk to Randy Borcherding next week, and he was at an event and saw a Porsche convertible go end over end at 199.
No.
And he's got pictures he's going to share with us.
No, that's a little bit too scary.
Don't try that
for
at
me.
home.
All right. Divya Sangam is with Value Penguin, among other things. It's the kind of an umbrella thing. Sonia, good morning. Divya,
Hi.
Divya,
How
it's
are
good
you
to
guys?
it's good to see you. Sorry, I was a little bit distracted. It's good to see you. How have you been?
I've been good. I'm just making sure my husband does not see that press release about the upcoming Corvette.
Oh, yeah. He sent it to us.
No, he's been joking with me that he wants to buy one, and now he said it goes at 220. I don't think I would be feeling good with him driving that in New Jersey.
Well,
Are you sure he's joking?
Let me just say this, that first of all, the car's not available to the public yet. It's going to be a 2025 model. They unveiled it this week because they've got to do more testing on it, and they don't want to have it all camouflaged up and stuff like that. They want it the real thing, so that's why they did the deal this
to that
week.
note, Divya, there is a black 01 Corvette possibly for sale.
Yeah.
Six-speed manual.
Six-speed manual transmission.
Very well kept, driven by an old man on Sundays.
That's it. Thanks for calling.
Well, you do
me
drive
up.
it on Sundays, don't
So
you?
here's why we're talking to Divya. You ready?
Yes.
Drivers now have tipped the scales, and in the age bracket thing, there's a bunch of them now over 70 years old that are on the roads. I want to know the whole story. I want to know everything about all that.
You got 2 hours to tell us.
Yeah, so, one of the things we were looking at when we consider, factors that drive up insurance costs is age. And we know that teenagers pay a lot more for auto insurance, but older adults also pay a lot more for auto insurance. And, those rates are going up. And then we dug into the data. So drivers age 70 and older have risen 30% in the last decade, and they also make up 1 in 4 fatal crashes. So it's a very scary statistic for anyone who is in that age group or has family members in that age group.
But let me just interject this.
Yeah.
I find what is amazing to me is that the states around the 50 that we have here in the US of A, they don't put an age limit, or they don't test people when they get to 70 or 75 or 80. They don't test them. Oh, well, you haven't had any wrecks. Everything's looking good. Stamp, you've still got another driver's license. I know people. My dad was one. My dad was 90 years old and crashed a car at 2 a.m. in the morning head on into a tree because he was going bowling. I said, Dad, 2 o'clock in the morning, there's no bowling alley open that I know of. Well, yeah, I know. But you couldn't convince him that it wasn't. And so I think that maybe perhaps some of the states really need to look into the fact where you got to get a test to get your driver's
Senility,
license.
yeah.
What about the senility test, if you want to call it that?
I mean, it's a really good point. The states that top this list are West Virginia, New Hampshire, and Vermont. Especially New Hampshire and West Virginia, they don't have these rules and regulations that require older drivers to keep retesting to requalify for their driver's license as they hit a certain age. And look, here's the thing. It's not fair to say every older driver is unsafe. There are lots of safe drivers who are age 65, 70, even 80, who I would trust on the road. It's just when you get older and you start experiencing declines in your grip strength, your cognition, your reaction times, that makes it very dangerous for you to be behind the wheel and also for other drivers on the road. And so right now, it feels like the burden of care and making sure that older drivers are safe behind the wheel is on their families or on themselves. And it can be really hard if you're older, you're living in a state where there is really no other option but to drive from place to place. You can't take the bus, for example, or there is no public transit, or the public transit isn't safe, so you still have to drive. And in those cases, what options are there for older drivers? So more than just older drivers being unsafe, I think the broader conversation is, are we doing more to help older drivers? Are we making our roads safer? And are we just doing more to help aging Americans?
Well, there's that, and the fact that you brought it up, depending on the family to say, hey, Don, you can't drive anymore. Well, to my age group, and I'm not going to tell you how old I am, to my age group, it was a rite of passage to get your driver's license when I got mine at 15, and now, today, I don't think that driving is as important as it was back when I was 15 years old.
Not.
Because all of our social activity is here on our cell phones, it appears, unfortunately. But so it's really lays on the family of that person that is really not capable of driving anymore and trying to take the keys away from them and sell their car or do whatever with the car. That can be a huge family disruption.
It can, and let's be honest, especially if someone older is suffering from dementia or, they're just fiercely independent and they don't like to be told what they should be doing. It can be really hard for families. But if the state government intervenes, if your local DMV calls you up and says, hey, you need to come back for retesting, and they say, hey, you don't qualify, then there's really very little that an older driver can do to fight that. Whereas they can definitely argue with their family members, hey, you don't know what you're talking about. I've been driving since I'm 15 or 14 and I'm safe behind the wheel. And so it's really hard for family members to convince older drivers, and even harder for an older driver to take a critical look at themselves and say, hey, I don't think I'm really safe behind the wheel, because like you rightly pointed out, it's an emotional thing.
Well, maybe perhaps one of the options would be to have a third party that once you turn a certain age, then you have to go and take a
class or a test. Yeah,
exactly. And within the class, there is a test to are you capable of driving?
Yeah,
then it would be up to that company to notify the relatives this person is not qualified to drive any longer for whatever reason it is.
Well, first of all, you have to have an agreement of that individual, that person, to go to that class. It may take an intervention on something like that, because there's interventions for a lot of things. Now, I was interested when you said the East Coast, New Jersey and such on the Eastern Coast. Florida comes to mind. Miami, Florida, retirement state of the world. So how does that relate? I mean, is that a driving force on some of these rates?
Definitely. Like New Hampshire and Vermont, it has a lot of older people. Florida, surprisingly, didn't make it very high on our list. I think a huge part of that is just a lot of people move to Florida, young and old, so it balances out in terms of the proportion of older drivers on the road. But if you dug down into Florida, some of the retirement enclaves, the cities and towns where there's a lot of retirement communities, the percentage of older drivers is a lot higher. So it definitely is a factor. And, when I took a look at the data, states like Minnesota is actually seeing a decline in older drivers. So these might be the snowbirds, the people fleeing the cold weather.
Yeah.
That are all going down to Florida.
Yeah.
They're going to Florida or Texas or wherever they're going. But, that's how it's being, that's how it is. To me, the most surprising data point was the District of Columbia having the lowest percentage of older drivers, just because, the joke is a lot of older people are in power. So I guess they're not driving themselves.
They're running limos.
Limousines,
yeah.
And Ubers and all that.
Yeah.
Ubers and drivers. And it's a big city, so you don't really need to drive. You can get around with, an
public
Uber
transportation.
or a public transit. Yeah.
So on average, what is the increase of insurance rates because of age?
So it depends on your age, right? So at the age of 60 is when you'll pay your lowest insurance premium. So it's not that insurance companies are automatically seeing you getting older as a bad thing. It's just when you hit 70, that's when your insurance premiums go up by around 8%. But by the time you hit 80, it's going up 32%. So,
Holy cow.
So here's the thing. Remember, you brought up that point about having a program where you can, an independently run program where an older driver can get themselves tested.
Yeah.
I think it's a great idea. An insurance company could get behind that and say, hey, if you do this program and you prove to us that you're safe, we might give you a discount. So it will help offset those costs. Because when you're 80, you're probably living on a fixed income, and having your insurance premiums go up so much on top of rising insurance premiums, it's just going to be really stressful for drivers who have to manage those expenses, and then offering them discounts for being safe drivers or taking a course could actually help them and help all of us.
Defensive driving
Or whatever course, are their reaction times good? Or do they have enough grip strength? I mean, those are things we don't think about, but it does become an issue.
Well, the other thing is, too, is and especially with that age group, like I said, at 15, rite of passage, get your driver's license, and now I can socialize and go across town to visit my friend that moved away several years ago.
Right.
That kind of thing. It's not as important if you, if you live in a community that has a grocery store, that has a clinic, that you really don't need a car. Basically, you would use that particular venue's shuttle, if you will. You know, we're all going to go to the grocery store one time a week, and we'll shuttle you over there. You'll have an hour, and we'll shuttle you back. Mm-hmm. You know, if you have a complex of 100 senior citizens on a fixed income, it seems to me that that would be an answer to really offset the insurance. Don't need a car.
Well, it would be one of the amenities in that facility.
And let's face fact. I mean, we didn't have Uber back in the day. We had a taxi cab that, how did taxi cabs even stay in business anymore? I don't know. Because, you know, not that Uber is a whole lot cheaper for me to go from here to the airport, but it sure is more convenient because I can see where the driver is on his way to my house.
I went to high school with a guy that his dad owned a cab company in the greater Detroit area.
Does he still?
No, it's all gone. But back in the day, they were everywhere. It was
that was
the massive
way to do it.
Lorraine Cab Company.
Yeah.
He was owner of that.
Call me a cab.
Yeah. But the problem with a lot of, you know, senior citizens and Ubers is not everyone's familiar with using their phones to book for services, or they don't feel safe putting their credit card information into the phone. It's not everyone, but I do know of older family members who are very distrustful of putting their financial information into their phone, so they would absolutely not use an Uber or a Lyft. They would either drive, even though they're 80 plus, or they would wait for someone to come and get them. So a lot of this is dependent on the kindness of others. You know, do I have the time to go pick up my uncle to take him to the store, or should he be driving by himself? And it just is a lot of stress.
Yeah, and what would be the way to do that? You're just not going to walk up to somebody, a relative, an elderly person, and say, "Give me your keys." I think there should be a preliminary to that. Hey, you know, there should be discussion years before that. You know, if you see a decline in cognitive, that brings the awareness of, you know what, we're going to have to make some decisions here in the next year, 2 years, 6 months, 5 years on taking those keys away. So I think there should be more of a way to figure out when you're going to do it and how you're going to do it. Not necessarily an intervention, but
that's what
to
it
that
amounts
point.
to.
Yeah, to that point.
So my brothers and I got together. My father started physically; he was declining. Mentally, he was there. He was sharp, and we had the van adapted. You know, the hand controls and all that stuff. But we talked to the doctor, his doctor. Doc, this is what's happening. This is what's coming. You know, when the time comes to say you got to give me them keys, you know, we may need some help. He said, I got no problem with that. He said, I can do that for you, and so. Again, Dad, you got to give us the keys, or else you got to start using these hand controls. Okay, so he adapted. He used the hand controls as long as he could until it got to the point that, Dad, you got to give us the keys. You don't drive anymore. One of us will drive you in your vehicle.
Well, there's got to be a plan for that.
Well,
either you or your brother.
My brothers, you know, the three of us, we got together and we kind of looked at it and said, but we started that, like you say, Dad, it was progressive. Dad, you're going to have to do something here. Get hand controls or something to go that route.
And that's the way to do it.
So, Divya, where can we get more information on all this?
So you can visit www.valuepenguin.com, or you can go on Google and search for Aging Drivers Report Value Penguin, and it will be the first result.
Very good. So we can see all of your hard work.
You can see the work that was done by myself and the amazing team of researchers and analysts who work with me.
I love it. Well, it's always great to talk to you, despite the fact that you've really put a divot in my day talking about older drivers. Thank you.
I just want to make a caveat. Not all older drivers are unsafe, but when they do get to the stage where they're becoming unsafe, then I think we as family members, as a community, and even, you know, as governments need to step up and do more to protect them.
Yeah, Dom, we need to talk after this.
Shut up.
1 out of every 3. So
Shut
it's
up.
1, 2, 3.
Divya, we love you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you.
Always. Thank you. Hey, the In-Wheel Time
awesome.
Car Talk show is available 24/7 through the iHeartRadio app. Just look for In-Wheel Time Car Talk. And a new daily podcast available from your favorite podcast provider. We also video stream our live 2-hour weekly show on Facebook, YouTube, and InWheelTime.com. That is from 10 a.m. to 12 noon Central Time. The N-Wheel Time Car Talk Show continues right after this quick break.
Pro-Am Auto Accessories has been serving Houston's auto enthusiasts since 1984, providing world-class products for sports cars, European sedans, and American muscle. Pro-Am is known as the place to go to find exclusive and hard-to-find parts and accessories. Pro-Am is one of the very first distributors in the USA for brands such as Recaro, Redline, Momo, Corbo, and Simpson. Located in the heart of Houston's premier retail and service corridor, the Galleria area, Pro-Am's walk-in storefront includes an 8,000 square foot warehouse, showroom, and installation bays. Pro-Am not only sells parts and accessories, but also offers installation and service. Pro-Am is now reaching a worldwide audience through Pro-Am.com, taking its local reputation to the rest of the world. At Pro-Am Auto, you'll be dealing with a small group of professionals who truly want to help you with your automotive needs. If you don't see what you're looking for on the website, call and Pro-Am will lend you a hand. Pro-Am Auto, 6125 Richmond at Green Ridge in Houston's Galleria area. Call them at 713-781-7755. Want to feel good about something special you did for someone special? In-Wheel Time and the original Lupi Tortilla group of Tex-Mex restaurants have joined together to help a very worthy cause, God's Garage, a Christian-based 501c3 charity. We know there are lots of places and organizations out there where you can donate a car, truck, or SUV, but we're asking you, our car enthusiast family, to consider donating to God's Garage. Visit godsgarage.org and learn about its mission, the women that have been helped, how each one is screened, and about their Restore You program. A car donation is an easy way to make a difference in the lives of others. God's Garage needs good operating vehicles, but will take all types in working and non-working condition. Make your heart and soul feel good by donating your gently used vehicle and help support single mothers, widows, and wives of deployed military at godsgarage.org.
This is the In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Thank you for joining us today. Time now for Jeff's Motor Minute.
Hey, we're going to load it up here. Give me just a second.
Well, yeah, there's no rush. Everything's fine, Jeff. Just calm down, okay? All right. This week we're going to do a special on Route 66. It is vacation time, and some people will seek out the old Route 66.
Oh, I'd love to.
Yeah, and absolutely. This is the sort of like the before and after, the then and now is what they're calling it. So Route 66 had a major impact on American history in the 20th century. We all know that. Long before the interstates, highways were a twinkle in Dwight D. Eisenhower's eye, it connected many previously isolated western settlements from Chicago to Los Angeles for the first time. Now, this first city that we're going to talk about is called Cuba, Missouri. Back then, Cuba, Missouri intersected the Trail of Tears for long distances between the Rolla and Springfield areas. It was an area where a lot of the American Indians suffered back then during the time.
Oh, yeah.
But it has since evolved, and today, now, the town of Cuba has been designated Route 66 Mural City for its public art and features of the route's oldest continuously operated motel, and it's called the Wagon Wheel. So there's a nice little shot of that there. Our next one is Truxton, Arizona. Back then, in 1857, Congress tasked Lieutenant Edward Fitzgerald Beale with creating the Southwest's first federally funded interstate between Fort Defiance, which I think is a cool name, in New Mexico, and the Colorado River, while also testing the usefulness of camels as backpack animals in the American deserts. Now, today, Truxton wasn't much of anything until the 50s post-war car boom, and then became one of many Route 66's cities bypassed by the construction of Interstate 40 in 1979. It's very nearly a ghost town today, with fewer than 200 residents and a handful of decaying Art Deco motels. So that's one of them. I'd stay there. Albuquerque, New Mexico. We've all heard of it in the New Mexico area. Back then, another important area to Route 66 was the National Old Trails Road, cobbled together in 1910 and spanned 3,096 miles from Washington, D.C. to Los Angeles. Almost all of the trails from Albuquerque to Los Angeles, previously called the Grand Canyon Route, would become Route 66. Now, there are many Route 66 sites remaining in New Mexico's largest city. On the corner of 4th Street and Central Avenue, two of the original public roads from 1926 and 1937, and following either street leads to an assortment of long-standing neon-signed motels. So that road is still there, and the intersections are still there, and you can take them both. We're going to talk about Cajon Pass, California. Cojones.
They got some cojones on them.
I'm telling you.
There's the donkey to show you.
Back then is the last significant mountain range on Route 66 to negotiate before coasting to the Pacific Ocean on the Cajon Pass towards San Bernardino. It was also used by settlers coming to Los Angeles in the 1830s. Now, today, through Interstate 15 bypass, much of the alignment in the late 60s, parts of the original automobile route can still be seen from the Cajon Pass on Interstate 15 southbound lanes north of the pass. More leisurely and indirect dirt road can be seen and reported. Accessibility, high clearance area vehicles, high capacity vehicles can now take it on a four-wheel drive route. Oatman, Arizona is our next stop, and one of the most demanding stretches of Route 66 was stepped with hairpin turns through the Black Mountains and outside of Oatman in western Arizona. Motoring was dangerous even after Route 66 paved in 1938. Some of the early travelers would hire locals to navigate the stretch to avoid injury. Now, treacherous stretch of the highway still exists in the Oatman Highway, while the unincorporated village of Oatman Glory and a long pass of the decline in the mining industry since 1952 and the highway realignment. So there you have it.
Very good. I loved it. Thank you very much. Route 66 history. Hey, time now for this hour's car review.
We got it.
And Mr. Mars has a review of the Subaru Crosstrek.
Yeah, buddy.
Did it mess you up over there, Mike?
Well, no, I was
he was helping me. He was helping me.
I was lamenting that I got ahead on Jeff there. I double tapped, and anyway.
Oh, that's all right.
You do that every week, don't you?
Well, generally I'm behind and not in the front. But anyway, so we're talking about the 2024 Subaru Crosstrek Sport. Now, the Crosstrek comes in the base, the premium, the sport, the limited, and the wilderness, which is new. And the sport, so the sport's the mid-trim level, if you will. Now, this is a small CUV, third generation that's this vehicle that's been out there. And up front, you're going to find the a frameless hexagonal grille, and that's part of the improved dynamics that they put into this car for this year. And it's got LED compact headlights, so they're kind of the small ones, but they've got the automatic on and off, and you got LED fog lights, you got some roof rails, you got heated side mirrors. And if you look at this car, it's got some yellow body accents. Now, some people think that was kind of put on there for shipping, for protection during the shipping, but it's not. It's actually part of the design for this vehicle. Got a power moonroof, rolling on some 18-inch dark gray alloy wheels for this trim level. And it's in the inside of it, you're going to find got heated front seats. The rear seat is a 60/40 folding seat. Got 11.6-inch multimedia screen right there in the middle of the dash. It's where you're going to find your Subaru Starlink, your nav, all your convenience controls. And it's got lighted USB A and C connections for your mobile devices in the front and for the rear seat passengers. Cool. So all the controls, they're simple, they're easy to use. Got the touch screen. The touch screen, sometimes you had to kind of touch it a couple of times. But other than that, it works.
That's because of your greasy fingers.
Well, that could be. Then up under the hood, now there's two engines available. We happen to have the 2.5-liter Boxer type engine. Now this is a flat type engine, 152 horsepower, 182 pound-feet. Not real big, not real fast per se, but it's more than adequate to get out on the highway or do a little off-roading in the sand and mud. CVT transmission, but it has an 8-speed manual shift mode that you can pull it down into if you want to kind of control it a little bit better. This vehicle is actually properly equipped. You can tow 3,500 pounds on this vehicle. And, of course, it's an all-wheel drive. The EPA says you should get about 26 miles to the gallon in the city, out on the highway 33, and combined 29. Now, I drove this vehicle 266.5 miles, and I averaged 26.7 across that time frame.
Nice.
And again, like I say, it was an easy ride. Now, it will get a little bit firm in some cases, but you get it out on the highway, and it will roll down on the highway. Nice, steady feel, good, confident firmness feel to the steering on it. Now, the base model price, you can find one of these vehicles base, $24,995. Base trim is $29,195. Now, our as-tested vehicle is $32,601. You want something to compare it to? You could look at a Jeep Compass, $25,900. A Mazda CX-30 is $24,000. You might even could bring in the Ford Bronco Sport, which is a little bit bigger, but it's kind of that still small CUV kind of off-road capabilities, $29,795. So if you like the Subarus, this is one of them you really ought to be looking at.
All right. Thank you, sir. Today's In Wheel Time Car Talk Show is sponsored by the group of original Lupi Tortilla restaurants in Houston, Beaumont, and College Station, Gulf Coast Auto Shield, and Pro-Am Auto Accessories. We continue our show right after this quick break.
The original group of Lupi Tortilla restaurants will have you telling your family and friends just what the original recipe means when it comes to the best fajitas in Southeast Texas. Founder Stan Holt invites you to visit the first Lupi Tortilla near I-10 and Highway 6. Here is the original house that inspired the design of all the rest and the original charm that helped make Lupi Tortilla the go-to destination for Houston Tex-Mex. Nothing can compete with the original lime pepper marinade that everyone will agree makes Lupi Tortilla award-winning beef fajitas the best anywhere. Lupi Tortilla Katie's another location that gives you the same quality and service Houstonians have come to expect at Lupi's. It's located on 99 the Grand Parkway at Kingsland Boulevard in Katy. Find yourself in Aggieland? Head to the Lupi Tortilla in College Station. Located just around the corner from Kyle Field, it's a great place to enjoy those famous frozen margaritas before or after the game. Going to Louisiana, the Lupi Tortilla in Beaumont is on I-10, so you can't miss it. The original group of Lupi Tortilla restaurants has the best Tex-Mex anywhere, and you're invited anytime. Your car is a direct reflection of you, so don't be satisfied with color fade or a dingy, dull appearance. Get rid of those terrible automated car wash scratches. Gulf Coast Auto Shield is your Save the Paint company. John Gray and his team of detailing experts can help your cars finish without a full repaint. Searching for the real experts in window tint or windshield protection? Gulf Coast Auto Shield. Dash cams, radar detectors, Gulf Coast Auto Shield. Got a new car? Get that thing protected as soon as you take delivery. If you don't know which of the multitude of protection products to go with, John Gray will give you an honest opinion and won't sell you something you don't need or can't afford. John will help you understand the many options and pricing right on the spot. He's your guy to have your ride looking its best and protected too. See the state-of-the-art shop yourself. Free tours anytime. Gulf Coast Auto Shield is easy to get to, located just south of the Southwest Freeway on the Sam Houston Parkway. Gulf Coast Auto Shield, full-service luxury car care today, and online at gcautoshield.com.
From the Sugar Shack Studios, it's the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Just ahead, we talked to Sarah Vidrine with the Texas Muscle Car Club Challenge. Jeff has the cruise in and events calendars, and we'll have the stories making automotive news headlines this week. Howdy, along with Mike out of this world, Mars. We always need more Jeff Zekin. And Chief Engineer David Ainsley. Are you kidding? He's not here.
No, he says it's 11:30. He's sleeping.
Well, yeah, it's raining, too.
Well, yeah, it's a good thing to do.
I'm Don Armstrong. Glad you could join us today. Let's get right to it. Texas Muscle Car Club Challenge. And here is Sarah Vidrine. And listen, halfway through the season already. It seems like we just talked to you and the season was just getting ready to get started.
Uh-oh.
There we go. I had to figure out how to unmute. It's been a minute.
It's okay.
How are y'all?
Well, we're doing good. How are you?
I'm okay. I just got a message from my other guy that was coming on with me. He said that he didn't get a link, but that's okay. We can fill him in later.
And that's Mr. Mars who did that. He missed the link. Send him the link.
Yeah.
Well, we're sorry.
It's all good.
Okay.
You get to see me again.
Well, I know. Well, we enjoy that. I see you're sitting right there in the burnout box at some racetrack.
Yeah. Texas Raceway, now defunct Texas Raceway.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Really?
I miss that track very, very much. It's my favorite.
Yeah. Where is that?
That was in Kennedale.
Kennedale. So it's not in operation anymore?
No.
This is a perfect opportunity for you to step up to the plate and buy the dang track.
There you go.
Actually, the city eminent domained it, and they're planning on putting in housing development.
Oh, for God's sake.
That's what they do.
Usually what happens with most of these. So.
Yeah. Well, that's a shame.
The only one I know that's for sale right now is Abilene.
You know, I don't. Have I ever been to Abilene? I don't think I've ever been to Abilene. That's a long. Is it? Well, it's a long way from here.
It is a long way for me as well. It's about a good 3 hours.
It's a long way from anywhere.
It pretty much is. There is that. Yeah, exactly. And you guys do quarter mile instead of eighth mile, right?
We do both, actually. So our slower classes, if it's a quarter-mile track, will run a quarter mile. But anything sub 12 seconds goes 8th mile only.
Interesting.
Wow.
I guess to keep the speed down, and also in turn, if you keep the speed down, you usually can keep the price of the sport down.
Keep the parts down.
Yeah, exactly. You know, most of us are geared one way or the other, and it's hard going back and forth between quarter mile versus.
Well, hey, just a few just a few $1,000 get you a quick change rear end.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah,
and I'm thinking you're geared for that.
No, I am 8th mile only.
8th mile only. Okay.
She sounded a little disappointed.
Yeah,
I tried to run it out in the quarter mile. It wasn't pretty.
No. What were you hitting the red line there across?
Oh yeah, I was begging the rep limiter. It was bouncing off us like about 6,500. It was screaming at me the entire time.
Yeah, this is enough, Mama. I can't do it anymore.
I can't go anymore.
Yeah, I got it. So, what kind of car do you have?
I've got an 07 Mustang.
An 07 Mustang with a 5-liter engine in it?
No, it was actually a 4.6. It is now a 5-liter engine.
You done spent your money at the machine shop or for an engine swap?
Up, so I had to put. If it blows up, you got to build it better, right?
Well, she was running the quarter mile and blew it up.
Well, there's that.
Actually, it was an 8th mile in Ardmore.
Ardmore, Oklahoma.
The elevation got me, I think. I don't know what happened.
Well, that elevation will get all of us.
Okies.
Yeah. Yep. So, Sarah, tell everybody about Texas Muscle Car Club Challenge. What is it?
Absolutely. So we are a club versus club racing event. We do bracket series, which is basically a handicapped timed sort of race. We have got classes all the way from your shot grocery getter to full-blown altereds running, 5 seconds and sometimes quicker, but we try to not let them go that fast. Everybody has to be in a car club. That's the only requirement for you to be able to participate. So also you accumulate individual points, but also you're accumulating points with your clubs. So we are about 3 races in now. The rain has gotten us a couple times, unfortunately. So we are finally starting to kind of get an idea how things are shaking out and how clubs are starting to perform. We actually have a race coming this weekend, believe it or not. It's going to be miserably hot. But the 4th, on Sunday, we're going to be in Ennis. So if anybody is around, wants to come hang out, come visit us. Any questions about bracket racing in general?
Well, no. First of all, you said you got to belong to a car club. Now, what are the parameters of that? I mean, is it a racing car club, or could you just be in like the Corvette club and come and race?
Yeah, so most of the big clubs around DFW have some sort of a race team. Like Cowtown Mopars is a big local one, as well as the Lone Star Corvette Club. And they've got, show circuit cars, they've got daily driver cars, they've got race team, they've got all kinds of things.
Right.
And then some of these other clubs are just a bunch of people who got together and decided, hey, we like racing, and hey, you guys are kind of cool, let's hang out on Sunday and race.
So all of the cars that race under the umbrella of the Texas Muscle Car Club Challenge can either be through a club or street driven, or they all have to be through a club?
You can actually pick up a club the day of. A lot of our clubs are now starting to grab any car they can find to get extra points. So if you're walking around the pits day of and say, hey, I want to race, can I race with you guys? And they'll tell you, hey, here's what you need to do. Put a number on your car, and you're ready to go. I
got a 90 a 90 Buick Century that I want to race.
Oh, yeah.
Untouched. Yeah, do I have to take the hubcaps off of it?
No. As long as you're not running your air conditioning and dragging water across the start line, they will let you race.
So, okay.
Water burnout.
So he's bringing his mom's car there. Now, how much would it cost him to join a club? Be it your club or any others?
Honestly, most of them are free.
Okay.
And if you want to race just that day for that club, they're probably not going to make you pay anything.
So you mentioned that you could do that, and the club is open to doing that because they get some points as part of the process?
Correct. So we get a point for every driver and car that's there that's running.
In your club.
In the club gets the point.
The club does, correct.
Okay.
So, the further you go into the race day, the more points you accrue as a driver. And then at the end, our wonderful points person, Martha, does her magic, and she figures out how many points every club earned that day. And we we have a running tally throughout the year. And at the end, whoever is first, second, third, that we give out awards and we give out cash.
The club, the first, second, and third club.
And also for driver.
Oh, and for driver.
If you opted in for the driver reward program, you get a permanent number, and you run that throughout the year.
And how much does it cost you to become a legal driver in the club challenge thing?
It's $25, which really isn't that bad.
$25 a year?
Yeah.
Oh my God!
Yeah, it sounds like we need
Minimal.
to.
It's not much.
Need to buddy up with Martha. Maybe send her some flowers. Get Martha take her to
I was
dinner.
like, hey, I didn't make that first pass, but I was here. Can I have my point?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I had a flat, and I couldn't run that first run. So, do I get my point anyway?
Yeah.
Martha, your hair looks nice today.
Yeah, exactly. And usually we're pretty reasonable. Like if you break on the starting line while you're running your first run, we'll give you the point for
You
being
broke
there.
your mom's Buick on the starting line.
Yeah.
So does Martha have a car?
She does. She actually races her F-150 for the Corvette Club, I might add.
Wait a minute. Wait. Stop.
I know.
Stop. So she has a truck, and so does she tow the Corvette with the truck?
No. So that's her daily driver in her farm truck, and that's just... And she doesn't. All of the rest of her Corvettes are show cars.
Wait. You just
Yeah.
breezed right over the farm truck. Does it have a farm truck license plate on it?
Honestly, I don't know. I haven't looked in a while.
This is Martha. It's a vanity plate.
A vanity. Right.
Yep.
Okay.
She
Well,
runs- she runs
I think
the
that would be really something to have the farm truck out there.
Yep.
I mean, it wouldn't be the first, but I would imagine it would be certainly different from most of us drag racing
You'd be
lovers.
surprised how many trucks we have running.
Oh, I would not be surprised about that. But with a farm truck plate on the back of it, that would be
That's
kind of
special.
surprising.
That's
yeah.
special.
You wouldn't have to worry about water on the track. You'd have to worry about it dropping cow pies on the track.
Hay flying out of the back.
The
of it.
hay flying out the back. Exactly.
So, is Martha watching this show right now?
I'm not sure. She might be. I haven't got a text from her harassing me yet, so I'm going to say probably
Well,
not.
text her back. Tell her she needs to be here.
Yeah, and tell her we're talking about her. As a matter of fact, we'll be sure and put this up on the podcast later on, so she'll be able to hear about all the wonderful things we're saying about Martha.
Yeah.
No,
We love Martha.
She is truly awesome. She keeps us running, which is amazing.
She's kind of
all
like
of us. We're all volunteers. So.
Yeah. So it's kind of like, both of my girls played softball back in the day, Little League softball. And there was always that one woman on the team that she kept track of all of the stats. She always sat there behind home plate and, and told the umpire, because he'd look at her. How many strikes? That kind of thing.
Well, everybody, as we always say, everyone needs a den mom.
That's
Yeah.
it.
That's
a
it.
den
Yeah.
mom.
Yeah.
That's right, a den mother.
I used to coach Little League football. And same thing. So me and my buddies, we get together and we go to the draft. We say, okay, here's a quarterback. Okay, now we need to draft the kid that's got the best team mom. So because we need a team mom that's going to take care of us.
Always
So
need, yeah.
you draft that kid to get that mom.
She brings the beer.
Yeah, that's right. And the pops.
And
the pops. Okay, so where do you stand right now with the Texas Muscle Car Club Challenge points?
So my club is killing it. We are in first place.
Of course you are.
I know.
Thank you, Martha.
I don't cheat. I promise. I've only made it out of one round. No, my club members are picking up the slack for me, which I really appreciate. So Red River Car Club is actually running first in the 5A series. GM is closing the gap, though, unfortunately. So we're going to have to start picking it up again.
GM, I assume mainly Camaros.
Which one? GM?
Yeah.
Actually, no.
No?
Any kind of GM product, you name it, it's out there.
Oh,
wow.
my God.
Like, there's Chevy trucks. There's, I think some of the Oldsmobile guys have moved over and combined forces with them and are helping them out.
Yeah. The 80 model 6-cylinder Biscayne.
I've seen one of those out there.
Yeah.
Trying to think what else I've seen that one guy. It's in an SUV. I don't even know what kind of SUV it is, but he is deadly with that thing, and he's super consistent.
Really? That would be you, Mars.
Well, I remember,
in the handicap van.
I remember a buddy of mine in high school. He got a 1964 door Chevrolet Impala. That's what he got from his parents. 6-cylinder, 2-speed automatic. He would pull up there, and when it go green, he'd put it on the floor, and he would be within a tenth of a second every time. I mean, It took him all day to get down there, but he was very consistent at it.
That's it. Bracket racing consistency is the name of the game.
20-second runs.
You don't have a
Just do the
stopwatch.
same thing over and over again.
Yeah, you don't
So
have
you mentioned the Mopar Club, a GM club.
Yeah, so 5A series which is our biggest, which is 16 cars or more per race. We've only got 3 clubs, and so it's GM, Cowtown Mopars, and Red River, which is me. And then we've got our second group, which is the 7 to 15 cars per race. So they still have a bunch of people, but not quite as many as the rest of us. So we've got one club called Whole Shot Racing. It's mainly made up of the Leslie family, and they are killing it.
Wow.
They are really, really hard to beat. And honestly, that's why I have not been able to get very many rounds in my class, is because I am in the class with a bunch of the Leslies, and I get racing them at the first round every time.
Okay.
Well,
But
Martha
they're
can
great
take
guys.
care of that.
And
Yeah, talk to Martha.
even the daughters have started racing, which is awesome for me. As being a woman and being in drag racing, you don't see very many of us. So I'm glad they are growing the sport and getting the kids involved, which is awesome.
Yeah.
How do we keep up with Texas Muscle Car Club Challenge? You got a .com site?
We do. So it's actually it's TM3C, so TMCCC.org.
.org, okay. And
you can find our schedule, you can find rules, results, all of it.
Can you find Martha's work up there as well?
Yeah.
You will see Martha's work on the results page, correct?
Very nice. Okay. We'll give her our best. And the best to you. And it's great
Thank you.
great to talk to you. When does the season end?
We are going all the way out until November this year.
Ooh.
November.
Wow.
Yeah.
So we're going to talk to
We're
you.
counting on a mild fall. Fingers crossed.
Yes.
Let's
Yeah.
hope. Yeah.
We were actually going out to the 10th. So we've got
All right.
almost all the way to Thanksgiving.
Awesome. Well, let's
Very
talk to
good.
you. Well, let's talk to you before you get to the final race.
Yeah, we'll see who
Yeah,
else
absolutely.
going
Let's try to October. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. We'll
Perfect.
do it. We got a date. Sarah, it's
Perfect.
great to talk to you. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you, gentlemen. I appreciate it.
You too.
You bet.
Sarah Vadrine.
Thank you,
from
ma'am.
Texas Muscle Car Club Challenge.
Very
In Real
cool.
Time Car Talk Show is available 24/7 through the iHeartRadio app. Just look for In Real Time Car Talk. Grab a podcast anytime from your favorite podcast provider. We also video stream our live 2-hour weekly show on Facebook, YouTube, and InRealTime.com, 10 a.m. to 12 noon. In Real Time Car Talk Show continues right after this quick break.
Pro-Am Auto Accessories has been serving Houston's auto enthusiasts since 1984, providing world-class products for sports cars, European sedans, and American muscle. Pro-Am is known as the place to go to find exclusive and hard-to-find parts and accessories. Pro-Am is one of the very first distributors in the USA for brands such as Recaro, Redline, Momo, Corbo, and Simpson. Located in the heart of Houston's premier retail and service corridor, the Galleria area, Pro-Am's walk-in storefront includes an 8,000-square-foot warehouse, showroom, and installation bays. Pro-Am not only sells parts and accessories, but also offers installation and service. Pro-Am is now reaching a worldwide audience through Pro-Am.com, taking its local reputation to the rest of the world. At Pro-Am Auto, you'll be dealing with a small group of professionals who truly want to help you with your automotive needs. If you don't see what you're looking for on the website, call and Pro-Am will lend you a hand. Pro-Am Auto, 6125 Richmond at Green Ridge in Houston's Galleria area. Call them at 713-781-7755. Want to feel good about something special you did for someone special? In Real Time and the original Lupi Tortilla group of Tex-Mex restaurants have joined together to help a very worthy cause, God's Garage, a Christian-based 501c3 charity. We know there are lots of places and organizations out there where you can donate a car, truck, or SUV, but we're asking you, our car enthusiast family, to consider donating to God's Garage. Visit godsgarage.org and learn about its mission, the women that have been helped, how each one is screened, and about their Restore You program. A car donation is an easy way to make a difference in the lives of others. God's Garage needs good operating vehicles, but will take all types in working and non-working condition. Make your heart and soul feel good by donating your gently used vehicle and help support single mothers, widows, and wives of deployed military at godsgarage.org.
Hey, thanks for joining us today on the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Every Saturday now, live, and that would be from 10 a.m. until 12 noon, a 2-hour show. And we start at 10 a.m., go till noon every Saturday for our live show. And we invite you to join us if you have not done that. Every hour is different. Every half hour is different. So,
well, if they haven't joined us, they wouldn't know that.
Well, that's why I'm telling them.
Okay, but they're not here.
They're here.
Okay.
They're watching. They're listening.
Yes.
They're waiting. They're holding their breath on every
All
word.
right.
How's
Good
that? Time
deal.
now for the Cruise In and Events calendar.
Yeah, combo.
Marrying the two.
We got the combo going. Well,
Yeah.
today, Saturday, you got the family cruise in from 5 p.m. to 9 p.m.
It's going to
tonight.
rain.
It's the 3 Acres Food Truck Park in Santa Fe, Texas, which has been inundated with weather. Weather it's going to change.
If you
things.
want to drive the family car down there and get you a taco or something, go
You
for
bet.
it.
There's a lot of food trucks, yeah. And then there's one also, the Garages of Texas in Katy is going on right now, so you can be there. You still got time to get there. Tomorrow, 3 p.m., the weekly car meetup in where? In Willis, Texas. At
What you talking
the
about,
D&M
Willis?
True Value in Willis, Texas. So that's going to clear that up. Now, you've got things going on for the future. The events coming up are the Houston Back to School Vendor Market and Caffeine and Chrome Car Show.
Damn, is that title long enough?
No, it is. Mike sent this to me. I'm blaming him.
Well, there you go. Blame it
So
on
that's
him.
Saturday,
Blame
July
everything on him.
27th today from 9 to 2. The Getaway Classic Cars of Houston, Cypress Station Drive. Pet friendly, family friendly, kid friendly. Everybody's friendly. Food trucks are friendly. All the local vendors are friendly out there.
Yeah.
Free entry fee. August 10th and 11th, the 2024 Houston NRG Park Texas Elite Auto Showcase. We had Craig on last week. Very cool event. Houston's newest indoor car show. Custom car, trucks, and exotic cars. You can find out more at TexasEliteAutoShowcase.com. Write that down. August 17th this year, Wheels, Watches, and Whiskey, Michael. The Stella Hotel Autograph Collection at 4100 Lake Atlas Drive. You want to contribute anything to that, sir?
No, he's going to
Bryan,
go there and
Texas.
partake in it.
The Gentleman Racer and McLaren, exotic and classic cars, premium whiskey tasting, Michael. Shop a display of luxury watches and silent auction.
Got my attention.
Yeah, I'm telling you what, the time is the essence.
I'm sure it's the watches.
Essence
Yeah,
of
that's
time. September 28th, the Woody 6th Annual Waterfront Rod and Custom Car Show. We will be there. Top Water Grill. It is at the San Leon, Texas.
San Leon.
San Leon.
It is not San Leon.
1920 to 2004, best truck,
Golly.
best rat rod, best import, best paint, best engine, best interior, best of show, and best car talk showdown would be us.
I worked with a guy by the name of Leon, and if you were to go up to him and call him Leon, he'd probably punch you in the nose.
Okay, and it's a $30 a day of a $30 entry fee for the event.
They're not even spelled the same.
Facebook.com, Woody's Waterfront and Custom Car Show. You can find out more from there. And the last one I have would be October 19th, Back to the Past Car Show, the annual open classic car, truck, and motorcycle show benefiting Spring Branch Senior High School Foundation. That's at 9016 Westview Drive, Houston, Texas. You can find out more at springbranchbears.com/car shows for more information.
By the way,
there you go.
Did you write down the next open house out there at the Hemi Hideout that I sent you?
Yes, I did.
Was it October or November?
I didn't know that was legal to send out.
I'd have to look.
It's.
I thought you told me November.
I may have. November the 9th, I want to say.
Early
Is that
November,
right?
I think is what you said.
I
Okay,
think,
cool.
I think it's November the 9th, so we'll be there for that.
Let me get out my magic book.
All right. Yeah, do that. Got something that I wanted to get in on the show today. SEMA, Specialty Equipment Market Association. They have the big show out in Las Vegas every year, and they rarely have any kind of an announcement other than about the show. Well, they came out with one this week, a press release from President and CEO Mike Spagnola. And here's what it says. The Specialty Equipment Market Association appreciates the difficult task facing the Democratic Party as it begins its process of identifying a new nominee for president of the United States. While many issues will be weighed and considered with regards to the pool of emerging candidates, SEMA asks that the party identify and unite around a nominee whose values are in line with those of SEMA's members. The 7,000 companies that create, buy, sell, and use specialty automotive parts, as well as the consumers who support of these businesses, help create jobs and fuel a nearly $337 billion in annual economic impact to the U.S. economy. SEMA seeks a candidate who will remain technology neutral in pursuit of decarbonizing motor vehicles in their environmental policy, prioritize small businesses in their economic policy, and preserve America's recreational use of public lands in their conservation party. And then it goes on. I don't want to get into all the details, but you can read it if you go to SEMA.org.
Very good.
Okay? So I just wanted to make sure that we got that out there for them on their behalf because we support SEMA.
Yeah.
Consumer alert, NHTSA reminds drivers to safeguard their vehicles. 1 million vehicles were stolen in 2023.
What?
A 25% increase in vehicle thefts over the previous few years. That's equivalent to one vehicle stolen every 31 seconds. Park in well-lit areas. Close and lock all windows and doors when you park. Hide valuables. Don't leave a running vehicle unattended. If your vehicle has an immobilizer, use your key fob to lock your vehicle. Don't leave your keys in your vehicle, including when you fill up with gas at the gas station. And purchase an anti-theft system if the vehicle did not come equipped with one. Some of the things that NHTSA is saying, please do that. Chrysler parent Stellantis paid $190 million in civil penalties for failing to meet U.S. fuel economy equipment requirements for 2019 and 2020, and owes another $459 million in outstanding penalties, government documents seen by Reuters show. Stellantis will take steps to address problems in its North American market and elsewhere, including cutting output and prices after reporting worse than expected first half results. Net income fell 48% in the first 6 months.
They keep laying off executives that might be able to make that up.
Yeah. Well, that and the fact that they stopped building the cars that they sold the most of.
Exactly.
And I don't understand that at all. It makes no sense to me. Oh, we're putting all of our efforts in electric. Okay. Well, how's that working out for you?
Exactly.
They're all cutting back.
You tripped over a cord out there on electric.
I did.
Yeah, a cord. That's the story that I really wanted to get into, and I didn't have time to today. But I certainly made a note of it, and I will when I review the electric car. Every time I get an electric car, the devil comes out. And I'm not
The
joking.
devil made him do it.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, something like that.
Oh, boy.
All right. We'd love to hear from you. Shoot us an email. The address is info@inwheeltime.com. Back after this.
The original group of Lupe Tortilla restaurants will have you telling your family and friends just what the original recipe means when it comes to the best fajitas in Southeast Texas. Founder Stan Holt invites you to visit the first Lupe Tortilla near I-10 and Highway 6. Here is the original house that inspired the design of all the rest and the original charm that helped make Lupe Tortilla the go-to destination for Houston Tex-Mex. Nothing can compete with the original lime pepper marinade that everyone will agree makes Lupe Tortilla award-winning beef fajitas the best anywhere. Lupe Tortilla Katie's another location that gives you the same quality and service Houstonians have come to expect at Lupe's. It's located on 99 the Grand Parkway at Kingsland Boulevard in Katy. Find yourself in Aggieland? Head to the Lupe Tortilla in College Station. Located just around the corner from Kyle Field, it's a great place to enjoy those famous frozen margaritas before or after the game. Going to Louisiana? The Lupe Tortilla in Beaumont is on I-10, so you can't miss it. The original group of Lupe Tortilla restaurants has the best Tex-Mex anywhere, and you're invited anytime. Your car is a direct reflection of you, so don't be satisfied with color fade or a dingy, dull appearance. Get rid of those terrible automated car wash scratches. Gulf Coast Auto Shield is your Save the Paint company. John Gray and his team of detailing experts can help your cars finish without a full repaint. Searching for the real experts in window tint or windshield protection? Gulf Coast Auto Shield. Dash cams, radar detectors? Gulf Coast Auto Shield. Got a new car? Get that thing protected as soon as you take delivery. If you don't know which of the multitude of protection products to go with, John Gray will give you an honest opinion and won't sell you something you don't need or can't afford. John will help you understand the many options and pricing right on the spot. He's your guy to have your ride looking its best and protected too. See the state-of-the-art shop yourself. Free tours anytime. Gulf Coast Auto Shield is easy to get to, located just south of the Southwest Freeway on the Sam Houston Parkway. Gulf Coast Auto Shield, full-service luxury car care today, and online at gcautoshield.com.
Believe it or not, that's all for this week's In Wheel Time Car Talk Show.
That is all.
Hey, be sure and check out our website, inwheeltime.com. Follow us on Facebook. You may be doing that now. Give us a like. Tell your car friends about us and share our stuff. We'll keep you connected to all things automotive all week long. We'd love to hear from you, too. Our email address is info@inwheeltime.com. And if they're really good, we'll put your cards and letters on the air.
No, they don't have to be good. Just
don't hold back. That's right.
We've got
hate mail, too.
We had a viewer from Germany this morning, so there you go.
On iHeart.
On iHeart.
That person was on iHeart.
Thank you.
When you're looking for award-winning car talk, you can find the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app. Grab a podcast anytime from your favorite podcast provider, and don't forget we live stream the show on Facebook, YouTube, and InWheelTime.com every Saturday, 10 to noon Central Time. The In Wheel Time video technical director is We Need More, Jeff Zekin. For booking agent, video editor, and people finder, Mike Out of This World Mars. Chief engineer, David Ainsley. I'm Don Armstrong. We hope you'll join us again next week here on the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show, Saturday, August 3rd, 10 to noon Central Time, on all of our In Wheel Time Car Talk outlets. Have yourself a great weekend. Stay dry, and we'll see you next week.